Well, hello, my name is Bo Grice. I am the counselor and trauma specialist for Wiregrass Angel House, and I just wanted to share a quick recommendation for you. One of the things that if we would make a list of things that are in short supply today, peace would be at the top of that list, I believe. I think you see more people who are bothered by various things today, not to mention those who are going through the grieving process or trying to recover from the tragic loss of a loved one. And sometimes peace seems hard to find, but peace can be found. And it doesn't just happen. It's something that we intentionally have to do. And for much of it, we could put it all under the umbrella of self-care. So what are some self-care things you can do that will help with peace? Number one, and if you are a person of faith like I am, then number one is going to be to rely on your faith. In my background, I'm a Christian, so I pray. I pray to God. I believe God hears. I believe God answers, and I believe that God often provides a source of strength and peace that is not subject to circumstances, which some peace is. There is such a thing as circumstantial peace or situational peace, and it lasts for a while until the situation changes. And then when it changes, the peace leaves. And with prayer, we're not just talking about existential peace, or that's a big fancy word for saying I talk myself into peace. And you can do that. Through positive confessions and positive affirmations and so forth. The problem again is it has a short lifespan unless you continue to engage in that behavior. So for me, I look for an inner peace that doesn't come from me. And so if you are a person of faith, you might want to consider relying on your faith in a major way during this period of time. Even though you may have a lot of questions and you may be angry with God because of the loss of your loved one, because someone was able to take their life or was driving drunk and happened to hit your loved one, whatever the case might be, your faith can be a powerful resource. Another thing you can do is make sure you get enough rest. And I know sometimes when you're going through these difficult times, the thought of sleep or resting seems foreign because it's hard to do. Every time you lay down and try to rest, all types of thoughts run through your mind. But you've got to rest. If you don't, you just compound what's already going on. Because what's going on with trauma is your body is having a reaction to loss. And it is a process. It's a process of adapting to the absence of that loved one. So there's an emotional bond that I hate to say broken, but it's broken in the way that it used to be. Now it's going to be a different type of bond because you'll never forget about the person, or the person will never not be important in your life. It's just that the relationship as it was has come to an end. And now whatever connection you have with that person is going to have to change. So since that is a highly emotional process, then your body interprets that as a threat. And that's why you go through a lot of these symptoms that we normally call grief, which is emotions all over the place, depression, difficulty thinking, all those type things are part of or symptoms of your body going into a defense mode. So rest as much as you can. And on the subject of thoughts, another way to take care of yourself is eventually, and maybe not in the beginning because it's going to be a little overwhelming, but eventually you're going to have to start practicing taking control of your thoughts, because your thoughts, if left unchecked, will run wild. And they always connect to the next thought. It's like a chain. But eventually, if you don't stop this chain, and it's going in a negative direction, this chain of thoughts is going to wrap around you and put you in bondage to depression, to despair, to hopelessness. So taking control of your thoughts is going to be another thing you want to get to. eventually. Another thing to do is stay connected with positive people, or people who are a positive influence in your life. This is not the time to be hanging out with negative Nancy's or depressed Dougs or whatever, because there's many people out there who don't know what to say, but they feel like they need to say something. And since they don't know what to say, but they feel like they need to say something, they say the wrong thing. And they don't intend to. It's just they're not positive people. So you need to have supportive, positive people in your life. Go to a support group. Find people at church. Hopefully you can find people in your family who are positive, and who can be an asset to your life. If you're not really sure what that looks like because you're not accustomed to it, the kind of positive person you want in your life is the type who's not always trying to pull you down or to make you feel bad about yourself with statements like, aren't you over it yet? When are you going to get over this? They don't mean harm, because what they're saying is, I want to see you happy again. But what they don't realize is they're really just making it worse. So find positive people to have in your life. And one last thing I want to recommend is breathe. You have to practice controlled breathing. If you don't, then that defense mode I mentioned earlier is going to stay turned on. And the more it works, the more anxious you're going to feel, the more severe the symptoms will be. So if you've been in and we've met together, I've told you about controlled breathing, and I've probably demonstrated it. It's real simple. Breathe in through your nose, as much air as you can possibly breathe in. Feel like your lungs are going to explode. Hold that breath for a 4, 6, 8 count, whatever you can do, and then slowly breathe out through your mouth until there's no air left to breathe out. And if you'll do this for about 4, 5, 6 reps, you're going to notice your body calming down. And that's because physiologically you're forcing it to calm down. So there's some very simple things you can do right now that will help to enhance peace in your life. And if you'll do that, remember, peace doesn't just happen. It's something, especially when you're in the middle of these type of circumstances, it's far from you, and it's not going to just happen. In fact, even if you're in positive circumstances, many times we won't even allow those to bring peace in our life. But there are some things you can do. So I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to call us if you need us. And if you want to come in, we'll be happy to talk with you in the office, or if you want to talk on the phone, or even through email. All right. Have a great day.